Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon, and you're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, and welcome to WBKS1.com, the Owl Show. It is your girl, Latoya Chanel, and of course, I'm sitting here to my left. We just got finished laughing, and we're trying to get it together, Miss Queen B, because we are happy on this this gloomy Tuesday, but we are the sunshine, so it don't matter. In the meantime, first and foremost, hello everybody again, and welcome to the show. And Miss Queen B, how are you today?
No real complaints today. It's Tuesday, like you said. Happy Tuesday. To some, it's Taco Tuesday. You know, sometimes
to some it's turn up because it's Tuesday,
or Tasty Tuesdays, which is
that's
that
turning
part
up
right there.
All right.
$2 Tuesdays.
All right,
you know what I'm saying? Turn up. All right, wine. That hit the spot.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So we gonna do it all. We just don't got no tacos.
We don't have no tacos.
Hey,
maybe next week.
We can do that next week. We can do that next week. Turn up.
Right.
With the tacos and the $2.
All right, but like you said, you feeling good today?
Let me get you some Mad Dog. That's $2.
You know, I'm okay with that.
No, I'm good. Blessed to be here. Blessed to still be chilling.
Yes.
And in the number. Not a lot going on for the summer. I'm glad that things are opening back up again.
Of course.
Which is a blessing. And all that good stuff. I just want to shout out my bae, whose birthday is on Thursday.
Oh,
yes.
Happy birthday, bae.
Cancers.
Yes.
It's funny because I saw a meme that said, "What are you guys gonna do? Cry?"
Right.
But
right.
And shout out to my niece whose birthday is today.
Oh,
she turned 17 and passed her driving test.
Oh.
So I'm super excited about that for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We also have a bestie whose birthday is coming up this weekend as well.
Shout out to Mia.
So shout out to our bestie.
Yes, whose birthday is this weekend.
Yes.
The 17th, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Y'all getting old.
Yes, they are.
But no, I'm good. How about you? What's up with you?
I'm good. You know, I can't complain. I'm here. I'm healthy. I am alive. You know, we are in the building. We are enjoying ourselves.
Yes.
We are back out in public.
Yes.
Hopefully this Delta variant doesn't put us back inside
I'm
again.
sorry.
Huh? Oh, God. Everybody in the studio is like, it will. So apparently the Delta variant is a new strain of COVID.
So I'm hearing that. Is this true? Right. I was about to say. That's what I was going to say. So is this one the worst one of... No, Lambda's worst. Okay.
So there's two variants? There's 10 variants. Okay. So
and they're all somewhere else, like, right? Like they're all...
So apparently the Delta variant... Yeah, apparently the Delta variant is affecting a lot of people in New York. Yeah, it's affecting a lot of people in New York that aren't vaccinated.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, they were saying in New York there is a spike amongst people who are not vaccinated with the Delta variant.
But what I want to know is that I saw some cases in which there are some people that were vaccinated.
Yes.
And got, what was that? Does anybody know?
Even if you're vaccinated, you can still get it.
Oh, wow.
It's a slight breakthrough. The percentage
right.
is low, but you can have a breakthrough depending on...
Yeah.
What? Of course. First of all, your body...
Nothing is 100%.
Right.
The Delta variant can evade the vaccine.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nothing is...
Specifically for the Delta variant. It was made for the other variants.
Variants, yeah.
But don't you notice...
It gives you some protection.
But does that not sound like also like the flu vaccine and everything like that? Like it doesn't sound, because generally I knew that there were times when we'd had one strain and everybody get the flu shot, and then the next thing you know, there was a different strain
and they still
out.
get sick. Yeah.
And so this is the reason why also I'm not saying like, okay, I'm yay or nay or anything. I don't want to, say that I'm not. Get the vaccine if your choice. But that's why I was a little concerned about it coming out so soon. Mm-hmm. Meaning like I felt like they just needed more time.
It wasn't
now,
all inclusive.
What I will say is we did not understand that this is not. People have been working on this vaccine. This is not new.
It's not new.
Yeah.
That's what we're finding.
The reason you have the variants is because not many people got the vaccine when it was coming out. If the vaccine would have came out early, everybody would have took it. You wouldn't have the variants because it wouldn't have mutated.
It was a delay for everybody, right? Like
you got to get enough vaccine.
Yeah, because at first it wasn't. Yeah.
If they had enough to give everybody and people started taking it right away.
But so that's my point. Remember that there were times where it was like just for the older people or just for the healthcare workers and things like that.
But in America, we got an overstock vaccines.
Oh wow!
People would have took the vaccine.
They didn't take it.
They didn't
take it.
Delta variant would not have been.
Right. See, right. So if you have a virus mutates.
Absolutely.
And if everybody gets vaccinated all in the same time frame, then the virus it cannot mutate. Because you have a lot of people that still haven't taken it, now it's mutating. And what people fail to realize, it's going to mutate into a worse strain.
Oh, yes.
Because it's not going to be like what originally came out. So... Again,
so what's funny is I'm still a little, even though I know that people, it's funny because I went to, shout out to Damon Wayans. I went to see him the other day at Stress Factory. He was so funny. But Vinny, who was the owner, said there are people that's saying they got the vaccine that really did not get the vaccine, and they're just kind of walking around
of course.
Free without, anything. So I'm like,
yeah.
That disturbs all of us too. Like that's like
we knew that people were going to lie or copy someone else's card or do. I mean, we knew that people were going to be selling vaccination cards to get in and out the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at this point, they're going to make it mandatory. So no matter what it is you're doing, they're going to make it mandatory. Right. Even my daughter-in-law working at the hospital, all nurses and doctors and medical personnel that have not been vaccinated, you have until December or lose your job.
We're supposed to. We can't get in the building. We're supposed to go back in September, and we will not be able to get into the building if we do not.
If we're not vaccinated.
Yeah, if we're not vaccinated.
Yeah, they're going to make it mandatory across the board for everybody, but especially if you are in the medical professional and you work in the building with other patients coming in.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have some sort of protection. So of course, the vaccination is not going to be 100 proof for everybody, but it's supposed to be some level of protection against
people who don't want to get vaccinated need to try to talk as many other people into vaccinated.
Right.
Because then they won't have to. Right, then you won't
Absolutely.
have to.
You're right.
Right.
So look, that's why he did a whole thing like, who's vaccinated here? He was like, okay, because so the more y'all get vaccinated, the more I'm good.
Right.
So that's exactly what he said.
Right.
Yeah.
They're actually doing that at my job. Even though the concert is outside, they're going to have a special area for people that are vaccinated.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it's a doozy. But
definitely your preference to do what you wish. I just hope, pray that we all stay healthy and whatever. I just know that the effects of the pandemic and everything like that have not gone away. And I think we all need to be mindful of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that. You think
so?
Immunes are...
I believe because your immune system is low in the wintertime, and so it'll definitely be coming back.
You have all the states in the South who don't want to vaccinate.
Right. But you know why? Like, guys.
Because they're stupid.
But that Tuskegee Airmen thing really...
We understand...
Really scared them.
We understand initial fear. But initially, we understand fear. Initially.
Well, something they're given to the entire world.
Okay, but the thing is,
right.
you're right. You're 10,000,000% right.
I can't fight
because
with it.
It's not just
I can't
affecting
fight with that
black people.
level
So you're
of
right.
ignorance, but at the same time, I feel them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I got it. I agree.
I get what you're saying.
I don't care what nobody say. They do not want to fuck up the money.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They need people healthy and back to working outside.
How about the people who are just like, I don't feel like going back to work inside? Like a lot of CEOs are like, look, you go to restaurants, you better get in here.
I'm one of those people, so I can't talk.
Well, listen, you know how I feel. I work from home. I've worked from home since last March, but I work from home anyway, 2 days a week. So I'm fine. Like I feel like I'm fine. I love staying home, but I miss the office a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I do miss the office a little bit. You don't miss it?
If you work in California, if you're a business in California,
Yeah.
they gotta pay California people a certain rate.
Oh.
They say, okay, everybody work from home. They're gonna hire somebody in Alabama where they ain't got.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's definitely what's gonna go down. Yeah. They supposed to be. I told you transitioning.
I mean, I think companies do recognize the fact that you don't have to be in the office 5 to 7 days a week anymore. I believe
yeah, absolutely.
that ideal is antiquated at this point. You definitely don't need it. I mean, getting together, even a 2 to 3 day work week, we know it can benefit a company, but you don't have to be there 5 to 7 days a week anymore. I think every company on the planet has proven that is not necessary in order to run. But in the meantime, we do have a guest that is going to be joining us via Zoom tonight. But before we get to our guest, I have to talk
some
about
hot topics.
I have to talk about one main hot topic because this topic is going to take us into our guest time. I wanted to show the video, but we don't have the video on us right now. But I want to know how many of you saw the ordeal in our very own Short Hills Mall,
Backyard.
Victoria's Secret.
In our backyard. In our backyard.
I want to know how many people saw it. So,
Seen it.
so for those who have not seen it, today, or was it today, or was it yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before? It was yesterday. Yesterday, there is a black woman in Victoria's Secret in Short Hills Mall, right here in New Jersey, who got into some sort of altercation, spat, whatever, with a Caucasian woman.
Yes.
Who then tries to attack her
twice,
hit her in Victoria's Secret in the mall, and the African American woman captured it on camera, and the Caucasian woman commenced to breaking down,
have a breakdown moment,
a full breakdown in the middle of Victoria's Secret, up at the counter, because she was being filmed. Now, she kept saying, I wasn't trying to attack you. I wasn't trying to attack you. However, it is on video of her trying to attack the African American woman in Victoria's Secret. In the meantime,
the issue I had though,
everyone in Victoria's Secret is watching this. Everyone in Victoria's Secret sees this. The black woman has asked for security to be called because she has tried to attack her. But in the meantime, the Caucasian woman is at this point physically throwing a tantrum
in
and
victim mode,
screaming from the bottom of her lungs in the middle of Victoria's Secret while everyone is walking around shopping.
I saw that.
Did you see it?
So the problem that I had was the officer or...
Oh, wait, we didn't even get there yet.
Oh, okay.
We didn't get there yet.
All right.
That's just video 1, everybody.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Video 2. The Caucasian woman whose name is Abigail Elfrick, I believe, who is a teacher at a high school in Cedar Grove, New Jersey.
She needs not to be
who needs not to be, especially because she deals with special needs children, is now seen up under the counter of Victoria's Secret, shaking and screaming at the black woman saying to get away from me, and then commences to chase the black woman. All of this is on camera. And then commences to chasing the black woman around Victoria's Secret screaming, get away from me.
Mm-hmm.
How do you chase someone saying, get away from me,
mm-hmm.
and you're chasing
them?
Mm-hmm. Once police officially arrived.
This is the part.
Go ahead.
When they arrived, they asked the black woman to leave not the store, the mall. She said, no, I got a couple more stores I need to go in. I am not the problem. The issue I have is that you deemed her the aggressor off rip.
Mm-hmm.
Because she wanted to have a meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
These type of moments, honestly, in my head, it just makes me think of all the times that these said people tears cost black people their life. That part.
When are we going to have a legislation for the Karens?
Yeah.
When is there going to be legislation for the Karens?
Yeah.
At what point in time? Because not only does it cost us taxpayer dollars when you have to call an officer to come to a nonsensical situation that's based off of some sort of entitlement, but when do we finally recognize and realize, as you've said, that white women's tears are weaponized?
Mm-hmm.
It's not women's tears in general. It's not black women's tears, because no one cares about that. It's not Indian women's tears. It's not Latin women's tears, and it's not Asian women's tears, because no one cares about those. It is strictly white women's tears, and they are always, always, always weaponized. And at what point in time in this country are we going to realize
mm-hmm.
that has ruined families, nations and towns of people, generations of people,
mm-hmm.
Rosewood,
mm-hmm.
Emmett Till,
mm-hmm.
Black Wall Street?
Mm-hmm.
How many bloody massacres were started on the tears of white women not knowing if a story was true or not, but strictly based off of entitlement? I can treat you and talk to you
any type of
way
Absolutely.
I want, and you can't say or do anything. The same thing that went on in slavery is the same feeling of entitlement that a lot of people have right now. And that is what happened. That woman didn't have a mental breakdown.
No.
And that woman is not crazy. What happened is that woman was in fear of losing her job, because she knows what happens when you're videotaped and you get that much attention for your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So she's in fear of losing her job.
But the thing is, like you said, she's
fear of
following
backlash.
her.
She's following her. She is following
I'm
her.
looking at it right now. I just wanted to.
She is following her, screaming, "Get away from me."
Yeah.
When do we have legislation for weaponizing white women's tears? When do we have that? When does that become some sort of legislation?
I think it's
we have enough.
insane.
We have enough proof.
I can't wait to hear her.
She's going to be lawyered up.
You think so?
The black woman or the white woman?
Oh no, the white woman.
She's going to be lawyered up.
You think so? Well,
she has to be at this point.
The part where
for her career, for her livelihood, for everything, she has to be.
Yeah,
she has to be at this point, because this went viral.
But the crazy thing is, I don't know if you understood, but the manager told the officer that the woman was doing whatever, and they still went to the black woman like, "You got to go."
Let me and you walk in Short Hills Mall right now and say something a little too loud, or buy a little too much of something, and have people following us
That part.
and watching us. And we just had Sister Porterfield. Amica and Porterfield, prominent black business.
We gotta talk to them about that.
Right, prominent black business right here in Plainfield, who just went up to Gillette TJ Maxx, and they were accused of stealing from TJ Maxx. First of all, stealing anywhere, but of all places, the place where you get $7 shirts. You have a prominent black family.
Wait, and that's the part. That's the part that got me, because even in the comments, like, the total thing was wrong. Shout out to the brother that stayed, who was not with them but acted as if he was, and whatever. But the problem is, I think for me, I know them. We know them. And when I tell you, they don't even got to steal time.
No, there's no question.
There's no question in the world. Maybe they, no, not that family.
There's no question.
Not that family.
There's no question.
Absolutely not.
There's no question. And so it's too much. So again, you and I, let's walk to Short Hills Mall now and go in the Tiffany store and purchase too many things, or purchase something they deem we should not be purchasing because that would be expensive and out of our price point. Do anything in Short Hills Mall and security is right there.
Well,
and not only security, but Millburn police officers are right there. Please tell me why this altercation was allowed to go on for as long as it did, and security never came. Not to mention the manager of Victoria's Secret, after she called security, then sent one of her employees, down to the security desk in Short Hills Mall, made the young lady walk down there because security still wasn't coming fast enough. And then when they finally came, the officer asked the black woman to leave not only the store but the mall, but did not ask the other woman to go anywhere.
But she wanted I will tell you that Alphic told the officer she wanted the video recorded by Ukinta to be deleted because she was worried about her job, according to the police reporter.
Of course she was worried about her job, and she was immediately worried about her job when she hit the black woman in the store. That's why she went into tantrum mode immediately.
She said she had a right to videotape, though, so they also asked her, now, if you're having a mental breakdown or anything like that, beef it up. They asked you, did you need an ambulance before your mental breakdown?
No, she walked.
You refused.
No, she walked out.
You refused.
She walked out on her own.
So
on her own recognizance.
They said, asked her, was she okay to drive? She said yes. She left with
fine. Of course she's fine. Of course she's fine. But what gets me is the people who were not there to see it immediately began to defend her. There was another woman, and this woman would have got punched in her face too. There was another woman that comes up to the counter and says to the black woman, why don't you just leave her alone and leave the store? See, we on air, but this is when you get effed up too. Because you done walked into a situation not knowing what's going on. You know nothing. And you see her on the floor shaking and screaming at me, and you immediately say, why don't you just leave her alone and leave this store? She...
Wait, they said that Elvick has said online she has worked as a teacher assistant, but the Cedar Grove School District says she's not an employee there.
Because she apparently was a teacher's assistant at a high school for special needs students in Cedar Grove. So of course they're going to say she's not an employee, but she's been helping out there for, I guess, however long.
She's from Cedar Grove, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's what I said. And she's been a teacher's assistant at Cedar Grove.
No. This individual involved at Mall July 11 is not and has never been employed by the Cedar Grove Board of Education.
Oh, wow.
She just put that on her profile, and it's not true.
Oh, wow. Oh, so she's a liar, too. Maybe she is a psychopath. Maybe she is a psychopath. Again, my point is,
oh my God! And she says, it says Elphick is not related to a Secaucus police lieutenant who shares the same last name, despite viral social media posts claiming she is the daughter of a cop. Oh, she
a psychopath.
Oh, yeah, that part.
She a psychopath. Okay. All right. Well, she is what she is. My point is, when do we get legislation?
This is incorrect.
People?
This is me, and I do not have children. I have no idea who Abigail is.
When do we get legislation, people? When? Anytime you can weaponize a certain demographic of people can weaponize their tears. When do we have legislation? When we have ample proof of what it can do. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. I've seen it over and over and over again. We've had ample conversations about this. I've seen it. I've seen tears get people any and everything.
Yeah.
Any and everything.
It sucks for the people that don't cry.
And
a lot.
Or it doesn't matter. I could sit somewhere and cry a river and it wouldn't mean anything. Oh, maybe you should get some help. Maybe you need time and another job to get your life together.
Wow.
Or maybe you need to leave this place and go to another place and get your life and get yourself together. So come on now. We need legislation, people. Again, we have enough proof. We have enough proof. There are people that are no longer here. There are towns that are no longer here. There are generations of people that are no longer here, all off the backs of what just happened in Victoria's Secret in Short Hills Mall in New Jersey yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When is enough enough? When is enough enough?
I'm just mad they didn't do anything. It was definitely a miscarriage of justice. That definitely, first of all, for assaulting her, she should have been arrested. And she had two videos.
I'm pressing charges.
First of all, how about a disturbance? How about we start with that? A public disturbance. You are screaming. You have it on video, like everything. I'm a little confused and I get it. People don't understand why people record, but we record because
we need proof.
There's no proof.
Because
if it's her word against mine,
because that's a whole.
Then what?
Because it's a whole nother show. But black women always have to have proof. I don't care what we say happened. We always have to have proof. And that's even with our own families. So that's a whole nother show. And we'll talk about, we'll talk about that another time. But black women always have to have proof. And even when we have proof, there is going to be somebody that's going to say, well, it still didn't happen like that.
Right.
What did you do to cause it?
And that is the question. That's the $1 million question.
So, that's my issue with this. When do we have legislation, people? Because I'm sick and tired of it at this point. We need legislation.
Yeah.
Immediately. In the meantime, though. That was my hot topic for tonight, everybody, because that has been boiling my blood literally.
Yes, I did see that. Yes.
All day.
Yeah.
That has been boiling my blood literally all day. Jeff, can you help me? So Katara said the victim, the African American lady,
I'm gonna have to contribute.
Started a GoFundMe to sue. I'm not sure, is she suing? This keeps coming up over here.
Yeah, because that's what's thrown over there until he pops in.
So,
okay. I'm not sure if she is suing Victoria's Secret or is she suing Abigail? Is she suing
No, she
Millburn
said
police
the police department.
or Short Hills Mall or
she said the police department. And then, because they did nothing.
Right.
But I think the mall, Short Hills Mall.
Yeah.
Because the security did nothing.
Right.
Asked her to leave as opposed to the person that was causing a nuisance. And I'm just a little crazy about that because if the manager told you that she was the victim and not the, aggressor.
Yeah, because the manager of the store said it too. So.
Oh, Katara said the police department.
Oh, she's suing the police department.
Wow,
okay.
wow.
Listen, we're going to definitely have more on this story as, it develops and it unfolds. And I'm just praying that there is some sort of justice for the young lady who was walking around in the mall, because that could be any one of us. That could be us today, yesterday, or any given time.
It's funny because we all, we see it happen on video. We see all of these things and we never think for once
going to be me.
That it's going to be me.
Right.
It's going to be me. And I think it's insane.
It is. It is. But again, like I said, we are definitely going to come back to it. In the meantime, we are going to get to our guest, who is going to be virtually in studio with us today. And so we have a gentleman who we've known for some time now. Who is an
over 20 years, right?
Yes, definitely. Who is an artist. He is an actor. It's so funny because whenever he's on something, I'm always watching TV and I'm always looking up like at the last minute and going, "Oh my gosh, is that Aaron? Is that him?"
I did that. Oh my God.
How many times have you done that? Because I've done that like 30 times or more. But in the meantime, in studio virtually with us right now, we are going to get into the arts and entertainment sector of life. We are going to get into a part of life that I personally love, into acting and entertainment. So everybody, please help us give a virtual round of applause to Aaron Morton.
Mr. Morton.
Hello.
Hi. Can you see us?
Yes. Well, no, I can't see
Not
you.
anymore.
Nuh-uh.
No? Okay, let's see if we can fix our cameras, because we can definitely see you. Up there, is that it?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. All right, hold on. We're fixing it. Look, you guys know this is a part of production.
For sure. I got to change. This is my wife's name here, too. So.
All right. So we are good. We're good? All right. All right. Hold on. Let me make sure. All right. Can you see us?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we are here. So we have Aaron Morton and Nicole Salter, who are virtually in the studio with us. First and foremost, welcome to BKS1 Radio. Welcome to the Owl Show.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yes, Nicole. Yes. So listen, give us a little bit about your latest project and what you have going on, because I know you guys had a project that came out last month. Tell us a bit about that, and then we're going to go into your history briefly.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks. Excuse me. Thanks for having us on, for sure. The project that we started is called the Cutting Room Floor, and it's. Well, I'll let Nicole. You say it better than I say it. So
I don't say things better than you say them. Hi guys.
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
The Cutting Room Floor is a web series that we started as a means to explore the impact of pop culture through the generations by using cult classics. So we take old movies, television shows, books, albums, anything that has a cult following, and we imagine what ended up on the cutting room floor of that work. So for instance, our first season is all about African American nostalgia. And our first episode is derived from the movie The Last Dragon.
Oh, wow. I love it.
That's a classic for us.
Film, and we examine like what about this film actually stayed with us over these years. What impact did it have on us when we were younger and we saw it that we may never have acknowledged? And it's really an effort to get people to be more critical and discerning about the kinds of storytelling that they ingest and pop culture in general. But we do it in a fun way. For instance, in our first episode, we imagined how Sho'nuff's goons became Sho'nuff's goons. Because like they're grown people who does that.
Right.
And we made a video out of that. And then the second component of our work is really the discussion where we invite creatives and other members of the community to really take a look at the culture and its impact over time.
Wow.
First of all, that's a classic movie.
Right.
There were so many taglines. There were so many things in there. I mean, of course, we all remember Show Enough. Like, you know, there people were actually him for Halloween. Like, you know what I mean?
I know,
like that.
I was them for Halloween myself. Like,
you know, I always have to be
Shogun of Harlem.
Yes. You know, I always have to be careful, you know, that hairstyle where everybody puts their hair up
at
here,
top.
like
Exactly.
and then they do it down because I'm like, I look like shown up. I should probably change my hairstyle right now. You know what I mean? So, but no, this I feel like this is an ingenious idea that it's almost like Dave Chappelle. It makes you think, you know, through comedy.
Yes.
You know, so this is ingenious.
I mean, our subversive goal is definitely around the idea of audience development. I feel like we are inundated with images and with storytelling constantly in literally every sector and every moment of our lives. Someone is trying to infuse their ideas into the narratives that we have of our lives.
Yep.
And we can't stop them from doing that. But what we can do is become more conscious of the ways in which we allow it to have an impact on us. And so this is just our fun way of developing audiences, especially in the African American community and amongst the African diaspora, that are more discerning.
Nice. Listen, so you started off, like you said, with Last Dragon, but I know you had more. What were some of the other ones that you had?
okay, so we had The Last Dragon. We had Bad. So for the albums, what we do is for a classic album, what we do is we take each individual track title. You know, so Bad, Bad, Liberian Girl, Dirty Diana, and we put each of those into the piece. So we have Bad, we have The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Oh wow!
We have Love Jones, a scene from Love Jones that we believe was cut, and Life, also a scene from Life.
You guys got the great.
Yeah.
Those are the classics. But it's funny. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, absolute, all-time favorite for everyone. I think everybody can relate to that, right? That was more, when that came out, that was my college. I was in college then. So that came out when I was in college, named my son Zion because of the song Zion.
So talk about influence.
Yeah, so talk about influence, right? So we are influenced by definitely what we hear and music and storytelling. So, yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, come on, you named your baby. That's what I'm saying. Like, when we have what we call the scenes after the work that we present. So we do the parody and we do that and that's fun. But afterwards, we have an episode that's called After the Cut. And that's where we sort of talk about what we consider to be those cultural influences. So did it make us do things different? Right. Did it make us think in different ways? Did it make us expect different things? And so, I mean, I can't believe I never thought of that because you're not the only person I know.
A billion, it was
a billion people.
Remember that name Zion, that trend, like everybody.
But we were saying, like, in Love Jones, how many people went to poetry clubs? How many clubs started poetry nights?
Yep.
How many people started listening to jazz?
Yep.
How many people wanted to step? How many people, it actually did those things. So these movies are not entertainment. They are literally influencing the way that we expect our love relationships to be, the way that we expect our lives to go, the way that we expect the outcomes of each and every one of our experiences. We're actually practicing life when we watch narrative.
Right.
And I'm so glad that you said that. There are oh my gosh. So a family friend, Aaron knows, Crystal. Crystal and I had a conversation one time where she said, I thought relationships were supposed to be like sitcoms.
Didn't we all?
You especially with us watching the Cosby Show, it's like, you had your or Different World, you had your argument. Everybody saw the good side. Everybody was mature about it. And everybody said, you know what? This is right or this is wrong. So let's all do the right thing and move forward. And, and it's like we thought not only did we think that's how relationships were, we thought that love was supposed to look like that.
Right.
You know, and like you said, we got that from movies like Love Jones, where we thought, you know, we thought, you know, if you fight hard enough and if you feel strongly enough that in the end this is going to work out. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. I live in New York. He lives in Chicago.
Yes. Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
But the thing is, you guys.
Wait. The man don't even. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't have anything. Like, but this is going to be the best relationship. Ever.
Yes.
And because we can sit around and have adult conversation with our peers,
Aaron talks about it. Like, tell him like the revelation that Aaron has about that particular film astonished me. About him.
Tell us, Aaron.
When he took her address.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, imagine in 2020, you know, you go out to the store, you buy something, you know, with a check, and then, you know, 5 minutes later, somebody's knocking on your door like, "Hey, I saw your address on the check."
Really?
So I just wanted to come over. You'd be like,
really?
Right.
Like,
and it's called stalking where I'm from. But also, she was house sitting and let that stranger into that person's home.
Yes, she did.
I was
Yes,
like,
she did.
what kind of story? But we look at that like he stalked me. I'm so in love.
Yes,
and somebody said, "Well, I would let Lorenz Tate in. If Lorenz Tate came to my door, I'm letting Lorenz in." I'm like, "No doubt." So,
I'm glad you said it though. I'm glad you said
But
it
the
because
fact that-
we don't realize that we do that.
What?
That we get into relationships and we have this expectation of how things are supposed to go based off of movies and music
and it even trumps reality. It like trumps the actual relationships
that you see.
You will break up with someone. You will break up with someone because they didn't have the reaction that you thought Nia Long was going to have, or Janet Jackson was going to have in Poetic Justice, or
he didn't make you eggs in the morning. So,
yes,
you know, you like, oh, well, he ain't.
It must not have been real.
Right. Right.
Wait, but y'all got it now. Listen to this though. Man writes her a poem, right? Come on. Woos her. Stop. Because let me tell you, because I'm a poet, that is like one of my favorite movies. Like, I can watch that every day. I'm telling you, like, I can watch that every day. And listen, did you hear him? I want to be the blues. You know, come on, y'all. Y'all remember? I remember rewinding that. Like, hold up, wait a minute.
I want to be the blues in your left thigh and the funk in your right.
And the funk in your right.
What does that mean?
We have
she's like,
we
was that not deep?
We have misused our capacity for narrative. Really, we could be using it for good, and we sometimes be using it for evil or for non-truths.
Yes.
Like even when we did The Last Dragon, Aaron and I will sit and watch the potential for a season sort of together. We'll watch these films and we'll talk about them together. In the film The Last Dragon, Vanity's character was kidnapped 3 times.
You know what? I don't even.
She was literally scooped up off her feet and put into cars or prevented from doing things 3 times. She never went to the police. In fact, 2 of the times, right afterwards, she went to work.
You right. You're right.
I'm not.
Remember the lady that was going to be the singer? You know.
Yes, her.
With the.
That's my favorite character.
Oh God! You said you was going.
Kew Gardens.
Didn't he have like a piranha in there, like a piranha? Okay. Oh my God, guys! Now, Bad. I got a question for you. Bad. When you said Bad, is that Michael Jackson Bad?
Oh yeah. That's
Can I just
Is there another?
Wait,
Is there another
right?
one?
You right. Listen. The thing is, tell me how you break that down, because he just, first of all, battle raps I think was created. I mean, battle dancing was probably created from Bad.
Oh,
sure.
That's such a good one.
From
Right?
the
Where
knife
were
scene.
you when we were doing the after the
I
cut?
know, right?
I know, right.
Bad,
Right.
yeah.
Yes, because they have battles.
Bad,
They have
yes,
knives and,
yes.
you know,
The knife scene in the garage.
Do you remember, like, that's what I think of first when I think of.
Yeah, me too.
When I think of that, I think of battle dancing.
Yeah.
I mean, we like took we took like the video, the concept of the video, right? You know, with Wesley Snipes. So kind of was like the theme of it. So the theme for Bad was like, all right, you have this prep school
bullying,
kid,
basically.
right? Exactly. That this prep school kid, Michael Jackson, who goes away to prep school and he comes back home to the hood,
right?
And he's got these guys trying to convince him to rob people and do whatever, and then they meet in the subway. So it's kind of this theme of wanting to not succumb to peer pressure and wanting to get out of this system that you're in. So that was kind of that was like the mindset behind that. So in our scene, it's these two robbers who one wants to get out. He wants to be a baker, and the other one wants to stay in it. So it's their journey.
I love it.
So is it always comedy?
No, but it's always parody. We always take one thing and sort of exaggerate it. So
Love Jones, So Love in our Love Jones one, it's like, when Troy and Savant, they never show why they break up. It's just, she's coming out like, what does she call him? She's like, you're
trifling.
Yeah.
Right. So kind of what was, Nicole had the great idea of what was the start of that argument.
Okay.
You never know. Everybody's like, well, he cheated. He clearly cheated on her, and and it's like.
But I didn't think so, because later in the film, she comes right back. They kiss on the cheek, and she walked right through the door. So I was like, what could cause you to storm out like it's over, but be back within a week?
So what'd you come up with?
He probably ate her French fries.
That'll do it.
Took her charger to work.
Argument over money.
Right.
Yeah, possibly.
And like negotiating a relationship where only one partner works.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
what happens when you buy a coat and you're the partner that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or you go out and get food and you don't bring your significant other any, She said you trifling. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
So what about movies with darker themes? Something like Baby Boy. What would you guys be able to do with something like that? Because
everything is fodder for us.
Yeah.
Because some of the things, like sometimes it's the ridiculousness of the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, we should I tell them about season 2? Yeah, sure. We plan to do Set It Off. We want to do a sort of thug.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Here we go.
So we're gonna do Set It Off.
Yeah.
And there's this scene where the character played by Dr. Dre is, negotiating with the character played by Queen Latifah, Cleopatra, for guns or whatever. But what's hysterical to me is that the production design of the film decided to delineate the gang with an A, like an AP.
Yes.
Which remember they put it in, they faded it into the guy's head, which is why he got shot.
So it was like Acorn Projects or something like that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Acorn Projects.
Yeah.
But all of the dudes in like the firing range have beanies with the embroidered AP on it. And I was like, what gangster
Wear
go
beanies.
Go out and buy a group of beanies and get them embroidered with the AP.
So right.
To show that they were really
down.
In the gang. I was like,
never
who does
paid
that?
attention to that.
You know what? I never
and
thought
I was
of
like,
that.
that's ridiculous.
Okay.
And the difference between Hollywood and reality. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we look for those kinds of things too. Eventually, when we venture out beyond African American nostalgia, we also want to start to be like, what would this film be like if Black people were in it?
Yeah.
So like one of my favorite films is a film called Inception. There
Love
are no
it.
Black people in that film.
No.
And I was like, well, where would we be? We're putting ourselves there.
Well, we'd be on the sidelines like, you see this fool
Right?
Wait, but no, literally, guys, you got to do Titanic though.
We did Dirty Dancing.
Did
That
you?
was
I love
crazy.
Dirty Dancing. Okay, yeah, I love Dirty Dancing too.
Because we'd be sitting in the corner like, somebody need to move them off the floor.
I was thinking. I always thought about. I always thought about. The ending of not the ending, but the ending.
Yeah, she was selfish. Because he could have got up there too. Why did he have to be in the water?
That part.
DiCaprio's like 110 pounds. He
could have got up on there too with her. And she let him float in that water till he died.
Yeah, that part.
She's selfish.
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So listen, give us a brief background. So this is your latest project, which we're going to get how we can all watch it and where we can all go to, download it, watch it, stream it, whatever it is that we need to do. But I want to know, give us a bit of your background in acting and producing and how you guys got started.
This is a COVID relationship.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes,
totally.
Wow.
So, just in you mean started on this series or
on
just
this
started?
series and then your individual backgrounds?
Okay, so this series, Nicole and I met at a play through a mutual friend, and then we were both coming from an audition in the city, and we met on the platform, and I was like, you look so familiar. Like, I think, we live in the same complex, because we actually lived in the same apartment.
Wow.
complex.
Wow.
Yeah, the play that he saw it we were in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Right. So the fact that we lived in the same complex was funny.
Exactly. And I was like, I think we live in the same complex. And she's like, yeah, you're in the Grove. And then, live in the same complex, found out like she was in the play as well that I went to see, months earlier. And she said, yeah, I'm a playwright and an actress. And I was like, me too. I'm an actor as well. And then I was like, as an actor, it's always so difficult to find someone to like go over lines with you and to like tape with you. So it was like, all right, well, I got to self-tape. Can you help me tape? And we kind of, fostered that relationship. And then I said, I got the idea, like, I want to just start writing something, Nicole. Like, and she's like,
You're not telling the story right. This is what happened. You leave out key details of the building of relationships.
He's a man. They do that.
So yes, met on the platform, decided why don't we help each other because it's difficult to have that. What happened was COVID hit. I returned home from my gig. He was there. I got sick. And this man was like, do you think you have COVID? I was like, I don't know. At that time, there were no tests. There's no testing. You couldn't go to a hospital. They would turn you away. I was turned away from an urgent care. I was scared. And he was like, well, I can't help you with that, but I can buy your food for you. Like, if you Venmo me some cash, I'll go grocery shopping for you so you don't have to leave. Because I was like, I think we should for real be quarantined, like not pretend. I'm going to like literally stay in this place for 2 weeks. And that's when I was like, that is so lovely, because as a woman, my whole family's in California.
Wow.
I don't have anybody. And at the top of COVID, when the world was ending, I was like, oh my God, like what is happening? Am I sick? Do I have it? Where do I go? Who cares for me? Like, so it was really remarkable to have this person who was just an acquaintance, really, step in during that time and be like, well, the world is ending. I don't want you to starve too. Let me go find you some food. And I thought that was lovely. Yeah. And then from there, I don't know about you, but COVID was a crap ton of binging for me. And I felt like binging and watching a bunch of stuff and watching old stuff and new stuff sort of made me feel more like a consumer than a maker. And we're artists.
And the shutdown of the industry.
Yeah, and the shutdown of our industry.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Aaron came through once, all my illness and stuff was over. And he was like, I have an idea for something that I'd like to write and do. And I want to do it with you.
Nice.
And I was like, okay. I think I tweaked it a bit. You wanted to do albums.
I wanted to do the albums, right? I wanted to just do the albums.
And you wanted to do it for exposure. You're like, our industry shut down. How are we going to show what we can do to people who matter?
Right.
Because that was key, honestly, during the pandemic. Honestly,
well, content was key.
Content was key, and a lot of innovative things came out of birthed out of the pandemic. You know,
absolutely.
I mean,
so this whole idea, evolved from that moment, and came to be this thing that went from how can we stay creative and continue to build audience for our personal selves into like, wait a minute, we can actually make a contribution to our community with what we're doing in a fun way.
Yeah. Wow.
I think you guys did. I'm just like some of the movies. Like, I'd be like, you guys got to have a season 3. You got to do more.
Definitely.
Because it's amazing. I think we know that storytelling for us originated from way back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, storytelling, it predates language.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yes. So I think that it's exceptional when you guys can take a movie, like it's something I would definitely laugh at, and also the perspective. Your perspective changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
God, yes. I mean, when I saw The Last Dragon, I think, Aaron, you said this in the After the Cut. You know, you watch the film, it had great music, it had Vanity and Timac. That's all you needed to get me in 1985. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what was interesting is that watching the film again as an adult, the metaphysical layer within this film is amazing. The homage that it plays to Asian culture,
right? That's the part.
The way that they depict New York City in 1985. You know, we talk about things like Friends and all these Sex and the City, all these shows that act like New York City is not filled with all kinds of people. When you look at the movie scene, the movie theater scene in The Last Dragon, there are Asian people, there are Black people, there are white people, there are people. I'm about to say there are people on the gender continuum that you would never have seen in any other film in 1985. But that was what was in New York, and it was what was in that film.
Well, what's funny is I will say that so in the 80s, just to take it back a little bit, I grew up with all boys, right? So you, Aaron, you know my brother Merle. I grew up with all boys, and I will tell you that they watched the kung fu movies and things like that when we were growing up. So honestly, right? So honestly, that was a huge thing in that era. So for us to go,
after we watched it, we knew
right.
Like the next 3 days.
We doing every move. Look, we talking, we doing the without even, right? Remember that? We did all of that, right? And so it's funny because I actually was in karate. She could tell you. I was in taekwondo. Like I was in karate. You did? Okay. So I'll just say that it's funny that it does stem from those things that we had prior.
But they would have us think that people of color don't have their own relationships. Because when they present it on television, the white people are always the intermediary.
Yes.
So it's the white person with the two friends of color.
Yep.
But if not the white person, we don't have a relationship.
Right.
But I mean, do you remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Yeah.
In the film with Bruce Lee.
Right.
Like there were no white people. It was just and I just think that, you know, if you listen to the narratives on the news, they would have us believe that Black people and Asian people were at each other's throats.
Right.
When really, I mean, look at Wu-Tang. Like there is a reverence for each other's culture.
Right.
And a desire to engage each other with love.
Yeah.
That dates way back.
Yeah.
And those are the kinds of things that we like to play up in our After the Cuts.
Yeah.
Like, let's take a look at what we're really looking at.
Right. And even the message of it, like which in 85 I didn't realize, but later, you know, it's, you know, when he realizes, like, you know, he's already the master. Like, you know, it's the one place that you haven't looked at is there, only there.
The analogy. Yes.
It's like Kung Fu Panda kind of, you know.
Right.
Yes.
It took from that.
Right.
Like the Dragon Scroll, it's like you already have it, and I think that's like that message. I mean, it's just like, I mean, it's just amazing. Like we are all.
You already got that glow. You got that glow.
The dude did right, and I love it when he tries to go see the master, and he's different things. He tries to be different things in order to go in. Oh my God, this is the funniest part of the movie. Remember, he changes his voice. Yup.
I love this project, and I love the take that you guys are doing on it, and that it's making us think, and it's making us smarter.
Yes.
You know, it's making us smarter, thinking about and discussing, like you said, the outtakes and what else could have been and how it affects us now. I want to know, Aaron, because I know you have an amazing story, how you got into acting.
Oh yeah, so I mean, it was kind of a long way. I took the long route for sure.
Yes.
I took the motherfucking long route. So I I started off in computer science. I was a computer science major in undergrad. I did that for about 10 years, and I just hated it. It was like killing my soul, like being in a cubicle, and whatever. So I decided, my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, Ezra Camille, she said, Aaron, well, you should go to grad school. And I was like, grad school for acting? Like, okay, sure. And I applied to grad school. Wow. I got accepted to Columbia University in New York. Yeah. And we were in Virginia at the time, and we moved to New York in a little 1-bedroom roach-infested apartment.
Humble beginnings, that's all.
Yeah, humble. Oh man, humble beginnings. And that was kind of the beginning where I got to just learn everything. Just learn about learn Shakespeare and learn August Wilson and
nice.
Just learn like how to act, like how to it's like growing up. Like you lose so much of your imagination. Yes. Which is so much a muscle, which as an adult is very much work, family, it's just like work.
Responsibility.
Home. Yeah, responsibility. It's like the ability to play and to like imagine and use your imagination and not fantasize, but but just think about fantastical things kind of like withers away. So grad school really allowed me to be able to do that again and to reawaken like my ability to creatively think. And that was a 3-year process, and that was just such a good incubation period for me and my mind, and just allowed me to grow a lot as a person. Grad school really allowed me to grow as a person.
Well, the thing is that your story, one of the reasons why your story is so amazing is, and maybe you guys can talk about this behind the scenes too, but one of the reasons why your story was always so amazing to me is because we are taught, and especially as African Americans, if you make it to college, depending upon what high school you went to, if you make it to college, once you get whatever job that you get, that's it. Make some money, make a lot of money,
and settle in that,
and settle down, and that's it. That's your life. Just everything else is just whatever it's going to be. Yeah. There's no changing. There's no reinventing yourself. There's no doing anything else. This is your one thing. That's it. And you're right. Because you were a computer science major, you're going to have so many people in your own community. They're going to say, "You made it. You did it."
Yeah.
So be happy.
Yep.
Just be happy.
Take that degree.
You have the degree, you have the job, you made it, you did it. Just be happy with it. It's fine. You know what I mean? And so many of us live miserable lives because we buy into that lie. And especially in our culture. And we wonder why we have heart disease. And we wonder why so many of us need to see a therapist. And we wonder why our relationships don't work, because internally so many of us aren't happy because we brought that lie.
I think it's because, the thing is that we do this making it out thing. You know what I mean? We made it out. We graduated. We did whatever. And everybody wants to define what success is. Success is defined by, your degree and what you have and what you buy and all of those things. And I think we stopped doing, and I will tell you this, because I am a nurse. Everybody knows that I am a nurse. But if you know how they ask the question, if you could be what you wanted to be, not that I always wanted to be a nurse, but my poetic side would definitely stand out a little bit better. You know what I mean? So I put that on the back burner after you have kids and after you get married and after you do all this stuff. I'm like, I don't even write anymore. I just picked it up. I think I want to say picked it back up like maybe 5 years ago. And like you said, when you're a child, that pretend and that your imagination, that leaves you. But when you're a child, you got to remain childlike. Everybody says that you have to remain childlike, because when your imagination doesn't leave, that's when you're more creative, about things and about just anything.
I think the very thought that you can be who and what you want to be. At some point in time in life is beaten out of you.
Exactly.
Well, that's what's so cool about what we do. Really, our culture would have you believe that we're here to entertain you, and while we're entertaining, that's not what we do. Our service to our community is allowing us to collectively imagine that which doesn't exist so that it can exist.
Wow.
Right. So we create. There's a reason why theaters are able to become nonprofits, just like churches and schools, because it's a sacred place where we collectively come together as a community, not in your family, but all of us together. And we're entitled to a narrative that we recognize and a narrative that we participate in. We're entitled to see stories that awaken us to the realities of what is, and stories that get us to imagine where we want to be. You don't spend any time cultivating an imagination around what you want to create. Absolutely. All you're going to create is that which has been created. But we don't give each other that time. And that's why having a theater, having professional storytellers, that's what we offer, the time and space to do that. And that's why it's so egregious when the stories that you see are telling you lies. Because that is the little time and space that I have. So you're not getting me, you're not opening my mind and helping me to exercise my imagination about what could be. And you're lying to me about what is. Now you have wasted my time and energy and effort and programmed me. Like I was talking with my grandmother, and she still calls television shows programs. Which really it's hard on my heart. Because at first, like, oh, she's old, but really, she has the right idea. That's
what it is. It's a program.
Programmed.
You are being programmed. So for us, depending upon the generation that's viewing, for us it may be a waste of time because we may know a little better. You know what I mean? But for my son who is 24, for my younger son who is 19, they could potentially be programmed. By what it is they're seeing, you know?
That's why people can overlook the examples in their lives and build their aspirations around people they do not know and never met and never will. Like you discount the fact that you watch two individuals get up every day and go to work. Every day they do this. That has less impact than the mofo that you see with his grill front. Having kids by 6 different women. That is the mofo that has more influence on you. And that is people will say it's the power of the media. Yes, because it's programming, massive, but it's really the power of narrative. The fact that somebody can infiltrate your story that you are creating for yourself about your life and tell you who you are,
what you want,
life is,
and what you want, what you need to have,
and what you
need to have in order to be happy. If you don't have this
these are not narratives that you have contrived. These are narratives you have accepted and you haven't even known that you did.
Let me ask you a question, because you guys go through a genre of movies. All of the movies basically and music are different. What do you guys feel? Tell me your take on what you feel about looking at the same narrative all the time. Like we are almost typecast, right? Into certain. What do you guys feel about that?
I think we feel differently about it. I feel like when you exist in any silo, it's unnatural.
Okay.
When you look at nature, it's diverse, period. And the more homogenous it is, the more prone it is to disease and illness, and the less likely it is to thrive and continue. But we have built our society in ways in which we have created these silos, and we believe in that kind of compartmentalization, and we wonder why we are experiencing disease and lack of thriving. It's because, like, I have a Native American friends who talk about I'm gonna mess it up, I'm not a gardener, but like co-planting. Like when the Western world came in to build agriculture in the United States, they wanted to homogenize the process, the rows. So this row or this section is only, I don't know, cabbage. But when you do that, you deplete the land, and there's nothing there to replenish it. And Native people were trying to impart to them, like, if you grow, there's a reason that you grow squash, corn, and lima beans together
in the same way.
They
Yes,
grow forever.
Yes,
because they support one another. So you look at it and you're like, oh, it's not a row. That's not a row. We need rows here. We need like military here.
Yeah.
But they're like, you're actually killing yourself and everybody else, because in 2 seasons, you can't even use that land anymore. And so when I think about storytelling, I think about it that way. When it's being used, when its powers are being used for evil, it creates silos. When its powers are being used for good, it opens everyone up to connect more.
that is a great summation. It's great. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How about you, Aaron?
I know. I'm like, shit.
How you come like, how do I come after that? Like,
I know what she said. Yeah, just said so. But no, I think it's like, I don't know if this like really answers it right, but it's like the more the merrier. Like I think the more stories there are, the more people there are that are allowed to express, whatever their truth is, whatever their story is, then the better it is for the field, for the art in general.
Okay.
So, I don't think, I feel like there are formulas that oftentimes people stick to for success. I guess so.
Yeah.
And there should just be variety, and like in variety should be explored. I guess.
Okay. But it's hard because our business is not, what we're talking about is the spiritual nature of narrative, really. That's what we're talking about. How it has been used and how it has functioned with people. In our nation or in the Western world, everything is for sale. In your culture,
for sure.
And even your narrative.
It's gotta be
of course it is.
It's funny because
there should be a balance, but there's not a balance, because that which is capitalist is ravenous.
Right.
It wants you to have a balance. It wants your shit and your shit.
Right. So what's funny is, it's funny you say that, because I think I read somewhere, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but Ice Cube is fighting right now because Friday, the movie Friday, about Friday, and it's like, boy, what were you thinking? Right. Like, or I don't think he saw the end of it. I don't think, there are things that we quoted from that movie. There are he's trying to like, how did you sell or get rid of it? Like, I just don't understand it. I don't, and he's fighting right now, because he wants to make another one.
Yeah.
Right. And somebody else owns the rights to it.
Somebody else owns the rights to it.
But that's how the business of show runs and starts to eat into the intention of the creator. Period.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Aaron and I are even talking about that now. We're nowhere near in a position currently to sell our idea or to partner with anybody on it. But what happens is, as you try to elevate your work to the place where it can be in the Super Bowl, as it were.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be in the Super Bowl of their industry. By the time you get there, you have already sold pieces of your shit.
Of course.
So that in order to make it happen, now the whole vision is could be compromised.
Definitely, and it is,
and that's usually what it becomes. It happens, and that's what happens. But that leads back into your original question: how we end up with the same story, the same narrative about
same roles,
us, the same narrative about us being told by people who are not us.
Girl, y'all don't want to have this conversation with me. I love y'all. I love y'all.
No, we have real conversations.
For y'all, because this is part of the. I mean, these are the conversations that Aaron and I have in pre-production, because there are 9 or 10 stereotypes of African Americans that persist in American mainstream storytelling, no matter who's telling it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, this industry says we're fine with you telling your stories as long as your story is our story, and you're
as long as you fit within that parameters,
affirming our viewpoint of
what
the
the viewpoint is.
Yeah.
Right.
So
same
we don't
story.
really let anything else in, and a lot of artists trying to get in are happy to sell out, and then they feel like they can try to fight out of it, and some of them have done it successfully. We were talking about because we were doing Set It Off, like Queen Latifah, who was definitely, they were trying to pigeonhole her as a sort of, I would say, combination between the Sapphire Mammy, right? So but she took control of her career quite early.
Yes, she did.
And started her own production company quite early at great risk, but it afforded her the opportunity to battle that. But they still do. They still try to put her there.
Yeah. And I think it's just, I think just in general, it's just a lack of representation, just overall. Like, in the higher.
Well,
lack of representation. I think it's a lack of consciousness.
Well, that part.
There's
that part.
It actually, it's all. I feel like honestly, what everyone is saying is right, because we all know the higher up you go, and the more the producers, the directors. It's rare that you're going to be on set and you're going to have an all black production company. It's rare that you're going to be on set and you're going to have an all black cast.
Right.
It's rare. It's very, very rare that you're going to have that. The cameraman is black. The DTP is black. That's,
the studio.
And even if you do, quite frankly, I'm thinking of some places I've been where that has been the case, and the outcome hasn't been much better.
Well, I mean, we're going to say without saying.
We know that.
We're going to we're going to say without saying.
Yes,
we know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
But
about that.
Again, like you said, it's I think what everyone is saying is right. There is a lack of representation in certain areas, and in other areas you have those who are just going to sell out even when there is.
I was about to say, like, there are some people that just honestly, it's like the shucking and jiving thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you do. You know, that's what you do, and that's what you feel like you got to eat. And I get it. We all have to eat humble pie. Like, we do. We all do. In order to get.
But it's interesting because even the other side of that, like if you take someone like Sidney Poitier, he was like, I'll never shuck and jive. I'll always be Othello, right? But even that still lends itself to the white gaze. Like, when will we make stories for ourselves because that's how we feel, the way we want to make them? We're still stuck in the double consciousness of having to
the duality of a black human being.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right,
yeah.
And make a living. I mean,
yes, that part.
Right. If you book, Mammy Jenkins or whatever, and Nicole,
yes,
series regular, you're not gonna take it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, because you know what? Because Mammy Jenkins is going to last for 5 seasons.
Right.
Mammy's going to come in.
You have someone like Angela Bassett who's like, no, never.
Right.
Right, but she's like, older now, but
she also
like
went
20,
to Yale.
For sure.
Right, so
that's what I mean. It's like, it's hard to, it's like, it's so
hard.
I'm
not I try not to be judgmental about people and the personal choices that they make for the betterment of their lives. But I also know that we don't need everybody. The civil rights movement didn't have everybody, right? You just need a tipping point,
right?
Of people who are willing to expand their imaginations around what could be, and hold that
came full circle,
that vision long enough to see if it actually works.
Yeah,
we don't even know if it can work. We've never done it.
Right. All right, so Nicole, we got Aaron's story. Now, how your love for acting and how did you get into it?
I've always been an actor. I'm from Los Angeles, California. So just like everybody in DC works for the federal government.
The government.
Everybody in Southern California works for Hollywood, even if they're not on camera. If you're a caterer, who you catering for? Hollywood. Right. If you, you're just always there. So I fell in love quite early. I had a connection. My mother, this is a long story. Trying to truncate it in my mind.
We here.
My mother thought that because I'm a tall woman, my best bet for education would be sports. And my mother is very tomboyish and very athletic. And so she tried for the better part, I would say, of 9 or 10 years, maybe even 11 years, to live vicariously through me in all things active. So karate, gymnastics, basketball, softball, volleyball, golf, tennis, some kind of ball, something's gonna work. And none of it worked. But there's a woman named Danielle Spencer. You guys remember that show, What's Happening?
Yes. Yeah, she was D.
She was D, but she also had a summer program at Los Angeles City College or Southwest College during the summers. And I found out when I was about 9, and I propositioned my mom, which I could do in my household, for an alternative to the sports, because I didn't want to run track or whatever horrid summertime physical activity she was going to make me do.
Right.
And so she said, well, if I pay for it, you have to finish. And I'm okay as long as you're doing something. And I was like, word. And she produced a production that year of like a hood production of Cinderella. And I got to play Cinderella. So I was bit. I was bitten. And then
bitten by the acting bug.
Oh, completely. I was bitten by the clothes and the glitter.
The theatrics of it all.
Yes, that's all I liked. I remember seeing Dreamgirls and watching Shirley Ralph and Loretta Devine and being like, whatever I got to do that, that's all I want to do with my life.
Wow.
I subsequently continued in schools and theater companies as a child, and I acted commercially as well. And then I went to college, and one of my mentors was Wendy Raquel Robinson.
Oh, lovely. That's awesome.
And she went to Howard, and her partner, may he rest in peace, Tracy Coley, he also went to Morehouse. And so they were really encouraging HBCUs, which was not really on my radar, not because I just wasn't exposed to it. None of my family went to college before, and none of my teachers knew anything about HBCUs. They were all white. So I ended up going to Howard, which was amazing.
Wow.
And then I went to NYU for grad school right after, which was also amazing. And then I started my career.
Really quickly, how was Howard for you?
Howard was amazing. Even the parts of it that were messed up were amazing for me. They were amazing lessons. Howard is notorious for having the most disorganized administration in the world. And that taught me how to manage my books and keep my records. I think on the first day of Howard, when my mom was there, we were registering for classes and getting everything together. And we sat down at like the bursar or the last leg of the whole registration process.
Yeah.
And the woman was like, so that's going to be, $12,800. My mom was like, huh? And I was like, I have a scholarship. And the lady was like, I don't see that. And we were just sat there like
quiet,
So when you say you don't see that, you mean
you don't see it at this time?
This time you have to go somewhere to find it. You're gonna come back. Like how does this work?
Like both of you looking like, I'll wait till you come back.
Exactly. We were like, we all three just sat there like, which one of us is gonna do something, because we came from Los Angeles.
Right.
And then like a minute later, she did something, and she was like, "Oh, here it is." So your heart drops to like your ass.
Oh my God!
She's like, "Oh, here it is."
Oh my God!
But there, Howard was notorious for that, so that part was not good. We lost I was a vice president of the Student Association in my senior year, and we lost we talk about Trayvon Martin and George Floyd and everyone in between now, but it was happening then. The police had murdered an off-duty police officer had murdered one of our students named Prince Jones after following him across like 3 state lines. And so there was a lot of protesting and organizing around that. And that Howard also awakened my social consciousness. Like, you can ask Aaron, I'm in the business of entertainment, but I'm not an entertainer.
Gotcha.
And I'm okay with entertainers. I don't look down upon them. But at that moment, was really awakened to the power of narrative.
Okay.
And how it can be used in the fight for freedom.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Justice.
Gotcha.
I'm glad you said that. So we were talking before you guys came on about something that happened at one of the malls around here.
Oh, you were listening?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we were talking about the Short Hills Mall, Victoria's Secret Karen, and how that narrative of white women tears, being that they are weaponized, and how it has just ruined a lot in our history.
Communities,
a lot.
I don't know.
So much in our history, and it's the narrative of the black the angry, hostile, aggressive black person. All of us are that way, and because of that, no matter what, if I'm crying or not, as soon as someone else comes into the story, we are automatically the villain.
Yes.
No matter
the
what,
aggressor.
Right.
No, but that is the power of the white man's narrative,
right,
of us, and
right.
we have yet to really claim that back.
This is the part that gets me, though. That's the part that gets me, is the fact that we don't take it back. Like we will feed into that. We will give them exactly what you understand what I'm saying? What they want.
Mm-hmm.
We do, because we have been relegated in the economy to not really being able to participate.
To do anything else, to do anything otherwise.
Yeah.
So really the only thing we had to sell was our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in a capitalist society and you ain't got nothing to sell,
I mean, hey,
but your body,
that part, your body and your anger, your anger, but that aggression, this is what I have, this is who I am, this is what I am about, this is what my family is built on, and this is what I'm going to give you.
It started with Step and Fetch It, the narrative of the lazy black man.
Yep.
He went on to become a millionaire as an actor, embodying the lazy man. I have a hard time. That's why I'm not gonna be nobody's star. I'm not gonna say that. I take that back.
Don't say that. I was about to say, you don't put that in the energy.
What I mean is, I'm a spiritual person. The reason why I'm an actor and not say but a narrative writer or a journalist is because this is the place of spiritual power where it's really the first step of the creative process of turning nothing into something.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I had an idea about what I wanted life to be like or what this experience was like. And I, as the actor, am going to actually embody that thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually a ritual.
Yes.
That is a real thing.
Yeah.
That is a real thing. It's turning nothing into something.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming the thing that you want to be is what actors do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, we rail about, people being paid a lot of money, but that's really why actors capture the heart and soul of any nation, any community.
Yeah.
Because they have the power to take that which we are thinking about and make it real.
Yeah.
So I'm real careful about what I make real.
Yeah, definitely.
For my own personal body, spirit, and soul.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also what I'm presenting the people who are watching in my community. And if I'm going to engage in something that is harmful to my psyche and my physical presence, it better damn well be for something I believe is worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
I'm
good for you.
This,
Yeah. Good for you.
And I'm willing to give myself of it because I don't want to tell the universe that I want to create something that in my life that I actually don't want to create.
And there's a lot of people that do that. But this is the thing with me, Nicole, is the fact that people are not in the business anymore of creating their own lane, creating their own space. It's just what you said. It's like, this is what I believe. This is what I stand for. This is what I'm going to do. And just creating what we don't have that. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, we don't have the space for it. I will say sometimes we don't, we don't, not even.
The disparity.
It's hard to say. Right.
Again, when you want to, there was a time and space in our country when, not very long ago, I mean, I'm old now, but in the 80s, where every theater had a company. of local actors, not people from LA and New York.
Of course.
People from your community who were professional actors who brought narrative to you about you.
Right. Right.
Those economic models don't exist anymore.
I mean, we had the Playhouse. I think, Aaron, do you remember? Like we had that around, right? Yeah.
So if you don't make all the money, then you make none of the money. There's really no in between, and that was an in between space. You could be of service to your community. You could be connected to your art form. You could be living in your talent and your truth, and also be an adult raising children, and maintaining a household and taking care of your elders and doing all that stuff. As a performer, any kind of performer, a musical performer, a dance performer, an acting performer, any kind of performer, there aren't many spaces for people to do that.
Right.
So you either strive to become all the things and do whatever you have to do to get there, or you don't have enough and you're going to have to give it up anyway. Some of the most talented people I know don't act professionally because they can't afford it.
They can't can't afford to live and do that.
And do that as well.
Right. So, but they are the most, when I say the most talented, I mean, I've even broken bread with Meryl Streep, who also went to NYU. And it really hit my heart when she said to me that she knew people who could perform better than her, who graduated with her, who could not find their way into the business. In part because what we end up paying for is the aspiration. So we pay people who embody who we think we are or who we want to be.
Yep.
That's how we are paying people and who we pay people.
Yep.
That's what actors get money for, and that's what they sell products for.
Yep.
They're like, you are the embodiment of American aspiration.
Yep.
In some way, you're beautiful.
Yes.
Or you're not.
And it doesn't have to be true. It doesn't have to be true and doesn't have to be real. It's just what they thought up at the time. So I want to know from you guys, because we're coming to the end of our interview here, in one word for each of you. Acting is... Aaron, go.
Look, he's like, wait.
One word. Acting is...
Oh man,
I don't have one word. I have a phrase.
I'm like, acting is. Shit. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, just think of one. To you.
Acting is.
Acting is like life for me, right?
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Nicole, acting is.
I don't have one word, but it's a short phrase.
Okay.
Give us your phrase.
Acting is the art and craft of becoming.
Gotcha. So it's becoming. You can say becoming.
It's becoming.
Gotcha.
Love it.
Love it. Listen, tell everybody, only because we are coming towards the end of our program, but we are coming towards the end, and I wanted to know how we can find your series. How we can find it, how we can watch it, how we can stream it, how we can support it.
Yes.
What
please.
can we do?
Okay, the series is thecuttingroomfloor.com.
That's cutting. The G is cut.
Right there is.
Okay.
Yes.
It is thecuttingroomfloor.com. You can find us on YouTube at thecuttingroomfloor.com. We have a channel. Please like, share, subscribe. Also, we have a website which is the Cutting Room Floor. Again, no G. That has links to all of our content, and also on Instagram.
Yeah, we're on Instagram
as well. The Cutting Room Floor as well. So that is, those are all the places you can find us. We release episodes every other Tuesday.
Oh,
so
great.
We have an episode that drops today.
Oh, good.
That drops
Okay.
today. And this will be our 4th episode, which is the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, based on that album.
You know I gotta watch that, right?
Yeah, please check it out. And then we have another one. 2 weeks, which is our last episode for the season, which is Life. So we have that as well. So those are, that is where you can catch us. And also, I just wanted to say something else as well.
Please.
A nonprofit that I'm working on, which is called Bridge to Reality, which is a mentorship program. Our mission is to increase the presence of people of color in the arts. And what I do, or what we've done, is we've gathered a whole bunch of artists of color in the arts, myself, my dear friend Nicole here, and a lot of other artists, and we're mentoring and giving education and access to the arts and to professional actors of color to high school students. And there's a website there where you can go and check it out and donate to the cause.
Oh yes, and what's the website?
And that's Bridge to Reality.
Okay.
.org.
.org.
The website for that.
I may be calling you,
workshops,
Aaron.
and we do workshops once a month. We're doing workshops throughout the summer, and I think that's going to continue beyond the summer. But we're really close to a partnership with Boys and I don't even want to say it, but we're close to making a partnership with an organization, with a youth organization.
Nice.
And we're hoping to expand our services beyond. We're national, so be on the lookout for Bridge to Reality.
Will do.
Nice.
I think we're going to do things to assist in the disparity of what we were talking about before, about there being a lack of representation. A lot of, we all are from Plainfield, right? So
yes.
We know, like I didn't know of any actors or any filmmakers or anything like that coming up.
No.
No. I think having access to something like that for kids of color particularly is vital.
Yeah.
And with that, I wouldn't have majored in computer science. I would have gone right into acting beyond.
I would have too.
I would have.
I would have. If Plainfield High School had the type of arts education program that I see a lot of other districts have, I would have been in 100%.
It's just like Nicole
100%.
said in the beginning, like everybody does not play basketball. Right. Everybody does not, there are children that it's funny because my son came home the other day and said he wanted to join the choir, guys. And I was like,
what?
You want to sing? Right? And normal, no, literally, like everybody, normal, I would say not normal, but most parents would be like, well, there's sports, there's football, basketball, he was like, I want to be in the choir. Now I know he can't sing, He was like, everybody can sing. Now it's not always good, but I'm going to try. So
auto-tune.
But you know what I said? I said, you know what? Not for nothing. Rock on. You know what I mean?
Right,
rock on. Right. Do what you feel, do what you want to do, try it out and see how it is. And I don't think we do that enough.
But there were so many of us that would have been in arts that
Absolutely.
came from Plainfield High School at that particular time.
Exactly.
There's so many of us around the world.
Our story is it stretches so far beyond us. Like there's a Plainfield. There's multiple Plainfields in Jersey, in various, cities around the country. Like every state, there are Plainfields, that have kids like us that would have loved to have been able to say, hey, I know an actor. Oh, they're on TV. Yeah, that's my mentor right there. Or on Broadway. Oh, I'm gonna go see this show. Like they would have loved to have had that. And I think it's so important, this visibility, right? This thing to be seen. So. Yeah,
I just want the stigma to go away too. That I don't. A lot of people steer their children away from the arts and into the sciences and into the engineer part of things when they're like, no,
Exactly. I mean, the arts is so important. I mean, the arts it's just so important. It's just so important.
It's really hard when you have no one in your family who you've seen make a living at it.
Yeah.
Right.
There are lots of ways to make a living at it without becoming the next, Denzel Washington.
Right. Definitely.
Right.
But if you don't see how that's possible or how it's done, it can seem like playing the lottery.
Yes.
Than having a profession.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. All right. Listen. This was great. This was amazing. after season 2 comes out, because now I have to go home and now I have to watch all of these, because when it first released, I was on vacation, and I was on vacation for like a week and a half, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta watch all of these, and then I was on the beach and I think I was drunk, so it didn't happen. But turn up. Now that I'm home and now that I'm back and now that I have some free time, I am literally going to watch every single last one of them. But
we're gonna have you guys on in season 2 or after the cuts.
Definitely.
That would be great.
we're there.
We are there. Yes, definitely. That would be great.
Let me know, and we are definitely
We're there. Definitely.
And again, we're gonna have you guys back on to talk about season 2 and what made you choose this film and why this part, and But
we got books this season. Yeah. We're going
nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
I'm going home tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So this was great, and I thank you guys so much for being with us today. And to everybody, it's the Cutting Room Floor. It's the Cutting Room Floor website on Instagram and all of the social outlets. Yes, without the G. On all of their social outlets. So please make sure you go on, follow, subscribe, whatever it is they need. They are doing some great things here.
Donate,
right.
Yes.
And we're definitely going to support and
yes, we
any
will.
And everything that you do. Anytime you have something new, just let us know.
Thank you. Definitely will do. And also, if you know of any high school students of color
that
are interested in the arts or in mentorship or in acting, writing, please, check out, the bridgetoreality.org website as well, because you can register for a workshop and or mentorship if you're so inclined.
I can do you one better. I know, working for my 9-to-5, being New Jersey Performing Arts Center, we have a full arts education program, and we're always looking for programs such as yours to partner with. So,
wonderful.
I'll get on that tomorrow.
That sounds good.
Yes, that's my 9-to-5. So I will get on that tomorrow.
Wonderful. I will be in touch with you.
Yes, yes, please do, because my response time is like 72 to 120 hours. So just make sure you do. But in the meantime, thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you, guys.
You guys were great.
Thank you.
You guys were awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
That was
all right.
Great.
Yes, it was.
Great.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God.
Listen. So again, we talked about a lot tonight. I love that we talked about the narrative, because the narrative is what is important. Especially, in our culture and with our people, that is important. And so whether it's the real life narrative or the one that we're watching for entertainment, it is important for our generation, the next generation, because you don't realize how much it shapes you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that was great.
That was great.
That was great. That was awesome. For everybody that watched tonight, everybody who was in our comment section, thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you guys.
And we love you guys for watching. We love you guys for listening. God willing, we will be here same time, same place next week, different show. And in the meantime, we love you guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.